Hello and welcome back to another devotional with John Iuliano. Today, I want to speak to you from the very last passage in the book of Matthew, Matthew 28, verse 20, where Jesus has commissioned the disciples to make disciples. That's the assignment. And then he gives them the promise. And lo, I will be with you always to the end of the age. Amen. And that's how the book of Matthew finishes off. Let me first of all speak to you about assignment. You do not need a credential to make disciples. It's a calling. It's to do with believing that God has called you and being obedient to that. See, I want to speak to some people that feel like they've failed and they've given up. I want to refire you today. I want to stir the fire of God within you and say this: you do not need a credential to make disciples. You just need passion. You need to believe that God has called you. You need to believe that God has restored you. You need to believe that your failure doesn't mean it's the end of your story. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you start to move forward and say, God, my story isn't over. My assignment has not finished. I'll pick it up again and start moving forward to make disciples of others. And here's God's promise. And lo, I'll be with you always. Sometimes we skip the word lo. That word lo is a beautiful word. It literally means I want you to pay attention. It's an exclamation mark. It's the Greek word idu, which means to perceive with the eye, to make sure you understand this. And here's the promise of God: I'll be with you always. But God, I failed you. I will be with you always, even to the end of the age. Pick yourself up. Dust yourself off. Keep moving forward. Your story isn't over. Your assignment hasn't finished. Understand this, that if God promises that he'll be with you even to the end of the age, you're never too old. You haven't finished yet. Come on, you've got breath in your lungs. It's not over yet. Pick yourself up. Finish your assignment for the glory of God. Let me pray for you. Father, I just pray for every single person that feels discouraged, that's been just distracted by the things of this world, that today, Lord, this little devotional will just relight a fire, that there's a divine assignment for them to accomplish. And the promise of God, lo, I will be with you always, even to the end of the age. Amen. Let the amen be the exclamation mark today, that God has not finished. The story is not over until God says so. Amen. God bless you.